Good morning everybody and welcome to Skaven Plays. Today I'm going to be making that video I promised you guys ages ago about when to take a Guo and when to take a Rotigus. What this comes down to mainly is what does your list need? Does it need something that can do a little bit more damage? Does it need something that can hold your enhancements? Then you want a Guo. Does it need something that just needs to do some spell support, maybe countercast on your opponent's turn, maybe you have a lot of kings? Then Rotigus is not a bad choice. Of the two, the Great Unclean One was 480 points. Rotigus is 460 points. That is directly reflected in their damage at the moment. They used to be the same amount of points. Rotigus went down. If you look at their damage, the Great Unclean One does significantly more. Not significantly, but he does more. It's a noticeable amount. This is counting the Great Unclean One's shooting attack, mind you. But even if you take that out, it is still in the Great Unclean One's favor for damage. Not by a lot, but by enough. And the Great Unclean One is also a great user of covering fire. His attack of D3 plus 3, you're going to hit on 4s, which isn't the end of the world, but still wound on 2s, 2 rend 2 damage. It's noticeable. Plus the Great Unclean One's Rampage is actually pretty good. I've used it to bounce disease before disease damage would trigger. And Rotigus's Rampage is terrible. It's a 3-up and then 5-ups for Horde clear. It's not good. Don't count on his Rampage for anything. I forget it's there sometimes, honestly. But combat-wise, Great Unclean One's going to outweigh Rotigus by heads and tails. The Great Unclean One's spell, while only 12 inches, giving something disease is pretty good. I wish it was longer. I wish it was like 18. But you know, it's still good. It's fine. Most of the time you're going to cast an endless spell and you're going to cast -1 to wound. And you're going to do that with both of these. When you can put... Hold on, Lance. I'll give me a minute. Rotigus, he does that at +1. So, Rotigus's benefit there, benefit is for that. If you wanted to run anything like Morbid or anything like that, Rotigus. It lets you put down Purple Sun. It lets you get bridges more reliably. Although Bridge and Nurgle is a little odd. I could shove Plug Bears in their face, I guess. I don't know. I don't know about Bridge. But I've used it to put Geminis down on my opponent's turn, put Jaws down on my opponent's turn. He's very good at countercasting. One of the main things that benefits towards Rotigus is with Field Sergeant being out there. Bile Piper wants to take Field Sergeant. We like Field Sergeant. And Field Sergeant likes to stack with Febrile Frenzy. So you have a 12-inch aura of +3 to move on all your slow guys. It's extremely good. And it's honestly one of the main reasons that I've been taking a Rotigus over a Guo in many lists. That and the 20 points actually makes some lists math out nicer. The kinds of lists where you want a Rotigus over a Guo is if you're playing a mortal list, you have some kings, you have Orgots maybe, or you pair them with my favorite duo, which lately has been Maggotkin and Rotigus. I've taken this list to several tournaments. Actually, I can just show you the list, can't I? Do I have it here? No, that was a funny list, though. I don't have it here, do I? Wait, was that it? No. I don't have the list here. But it was pretty much the Maggotkin, Rotigus, 2 units of 10 kings. I had a 20 brick of Plague Bears and a Bile Piper. And 1 unit of Rotmire Creed. That was the whole list. I've taken that to a GT and went 4-1. I took a variation of it back when it was a Guo to another GT and went 4-1. I took this to a teams tournament and I went 2-1-1. Tied a Gargant player, lost to Firestairs guy, Jeremy something. He's won a lot of tournaments. I don't remember his last name. It was fancy in French. Nice guy though. Completely kicked my teeth into those Firestairs. But yeah. So the main benefit is the casting. Also the number of small demon groups you have. If you're just running something like this, you got 1 brick of Plague Bears, you have 1 group of drones, or if you don't have any demons and you want that caster with the +1, you want Rotigus. You don't want to go. if you have, say, like 3 groups of minimum plague bears, a couple units of drones, or anything like this, I'd say anything north of 4, you want a Great Unclean One. Even if you're not putting the enhancements on him, which you probably should, but there's an argument for it now, you want a Guo. Because you throw one of these drones away, use it to put disease on something, let it die in your opponent's turn, and then you try and revive 2 of them. And that's still a pretty good unit. Drones are, play more drones, guys. They're ridiculous. They're really good for their points. This reinforced group would be 360. If you had 2 small groups, it's the same. If you had 1 group, it's only 180. And you can do shenanigans like this. Play more drones. People don't play enough drones. 2-inch coherency is nuts. But yeah, those are the main cases. They're both quite good. Paying 480 for the Guo a lot of times doesn't feel great, but I think a lot of people are forgetting his shooting attack. It's shoot in combat. You can unleash it on your opponent's turn if he's not in combat. He does more than he looks like he does. That being said, he has 4 sword attacks, and they whiff like crazy. Yeah, that's the average experience. You get 2 through. Same thing with Rotigus' stick. Never have these guys and expect them to do a ton of damage. Their main use is support, spellcasting, and being semi-difficult to kill. If they get all into by Chosen, they'll die. But they can't send nothing and remove a Guo or a Rotigus. They have to dedicate something to them, and that lets your other stuff go out, take points, put disease on stuff they don't want diseased. They're a great distraction piece. In fact, in my Rotigus Glotkin list, his main job is to run out and be bait and lure things in for the Glotkin to kill. I usually don't care if Rotigus dies in the first 2 turns, because he baited out something for the Glotkin to kill. But that's just my main ideas on this. It's a short video. I don't want this to be long. I just want to let you guys know, Great Unclean One versus Rotigus, what use cases. These days I am leaning heavily towards Rotigus, just because of Field Sergeant and Fiddler Frenzy. That being said, if you're doing a drone spam list, which I think is still a quite good list, Great Unclean One's the way to go. But, yeah, I hope everybody has a good day. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll go into more detail with you guys in the comments. And I hope you all have a wonderful day.